How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining me today. We're going to be talking about The Beekeeper. This is a movie that I have been remotely interested in, however, not really optimistic about it. The film stars Jason Statham as a former operative on a brutal campaign for vengeance after his former friend takes her own life after she was scammed of her own money. Now, I went into this movie very pessimistic because for the past couple of projects that David Ayers has directed, they haven't been really hits for me. He is a filmmaker that has hits and misses. There are movies that I really enjoy, and there are movies that I completely forget he even directed. And when it came down to The Beekeeper, there were enough things that got me interested in wanting to check this movie out. And I think this is a movie worth buzzing about. Now, I really enjoyed my time when it came down to The Beekeeper. Is this movie perfect? Absolutely not. It is a bit of a fast-paced movie, and there are characters in here that really grinded on my gears, and we're going to be getting into them. But what I wanted to see in this movie was Jason Statham kick so much ass, and that's exactly what I got from beginning to end. This is a balls to the wall, hard R film that I had so much fun. The action from beginning to end, you're going on this vengeful rampage with this guy, and you get behind why he's doing it. He belongs to this hive, only known as the Beekeepers, where they operate above the law. And when they introduced that, I wanted to see a lot more of this because as soon as the credits started rolling, did not want this movie to end because I was having a lot of fun. Jason Statham knocks it out of the park, whether it's Expendables and the Meg 2. He does his best whenever he tries to save a crappy project, but when it comes down to The Beekeeper and you see the action in full frame, that is where I am all in. And that is what this movie does well. The action is in full frame, so you're not getting a lot of that shaky cam. So if you are absolutely done with shaky cam action, don't worry because The Beekeeper has none of that. The violence in here is stylized. I thought it was well choreographed. I loved a lot of it. Has those cheesy one-liners. I appreciated it. Might not work for you, but it absolutely worked for me. I thought some of the characters here and there, especially when it came down to the FBI aspect of it, I thought worked enough. It took me a little while for me to get used to them, but as soon as the film started rolling and they get a little bit more screen time than they should, I thought they worked immensely enough. When it comes down to the villains led by Josh Hutcherson, they're really nothing to write home about. They are just typical villains there to be the body count for Jason Statham, and you just want to see them get knocked out. When it comes down to the rifle vengeance part of this movie, you get on board because what this operation is doing, what these scammers are doing is basically just stealing everybody's assets. And so when that is introduced, you get why Jason Statham is going on this rampage, and you want to see everybody gets their just desserts, especially when it comes down to what happens to his former friend at the beginning of the film. And that is where the movie absolutely locked me in. I'm like, okay, now I want to see Jason Statham go down and hunt every one of these fuckers down. But if you're looking for a fun action thrill ride, you're going to get it with The Beekeeper. The dialogue is iffy here and there. I thought Josh Hutcherson was a little bit annoying as the head guy, and I don't think he fit that role as much as probably they thought he did, but I thought he did a decent job enough. Jeremy Ayers as his somewhat security guard, somebody that gets him out of trouble, doesn't really get too much to do. He's just more of the trying to calm Josh Hutcherson down, preparing him for what's coming, and that's really all he's doing in the movie. He doesn't get a lot of screen time here and there, and so his character at times doesn't feel useful to the plot, but it's still great to see Jeremy Irons. It is a short movie, so this movie just flybys and it never feels long because you are just locked in from beginning to the end, and that's what I enjoyed about this movie. It is just a fun, balls to the wall action movie that you can have a lot of fun with, and you'll be entertained from beginning to end. But those are my thoughts on The Beekeeper. Are you planning on checking this film out, or is this a movie that you're not even remotely interested in? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys for the next video.